Hello, everyone out there. My name is Anthony Morales, and you are watching another episode of Advocacy Unscripted. Today, we are going to be doing something a little bit differently today. Today, we are going to be talking about movies for a while and how they tie in with Advocacy Unscripted. For those of you that don't know, movies tie in with Advocacy Unscripted because it helps bring out, the sort of gentleness and sort of interaction that you get with friends. And not just friends, you get to also interact with your family that may or may not go out to the movies as much. So you're pretty much just expressing yourself and you're getting yourself out there to, communicate with people that don't necessarily have the type of disability that you have. But at the same time, you're still connected with them and you're having a great time at the same time. So anyways, without further ado, the topic that we're going to be talking about is something that I've been dying for since we started doing this. We are going to be talking about Jurassic Park. Dun, da, 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 da. Now anyways, before we get started, I would like to bring out my first guest, and she happens to just be a regular. She has made herself known in our last videos, and she is also doing a YouTube channel of her own. So I would like to please welcome Miss Samantha Welsh up. So I would like to bring out my first guest, and my first guest is none other than Miss Samantha Welsh.
Hello everybody, this is Zombie Alley Cat, or otherwise known as Sam, otherwise known as Samantha, whatever. So yeah, I'm back again. Guess you didn't think this would happen again, eh?
It's like a sequel.
Yeah. Watch me be a regular.
Probably.
Oh,
so anyways, we already know that you've been doing your YouTube channel. You're basically playing all these different games that your coworkers / friends recommend that you play,
Or the comment section.
That too. So I heard from a certain client, I won't mention names, that you are doing a Minecraft Jurassic Park series. Is that right?
First off, yes, I am. It's still in the works. And secondly, you don't have to hide it. I know you wanted it so badly. Let me tell you something, guys. He wanted to get Minecraft just so he can be a part of the series, but he cannot because, for starters, the laptop which he does have, it sucks, and secondly, the gaming laptop that he does have costs way too freaking much. So he went up to me and was like, just go do the series without me. And I'm like, okay, I can make it interesting. So yeah, that's the backstory. And the reason it's taking so long is because I have to put together several mods which sort of make it more make the Minecraft environment more interesting, sort of make the scenery more interesting, make it all the decorations all go nice and pretty. But yeah, so that's why it's taking so long, and that's pretty much, again, like I said on my first Don't Starve episode, that's why Don't Starve started in the first place. So I have something to put up while I'm working on the Minecraft thing.
Okay then. Well, thank you for letting me know, and also for putting me on blast. I don't have a laptop, but we'll just ignore that.
Yeah, I'm sure that will go unnoticed.
Yeah, never mind. So anyways, I'm going to be asking you a few questions. All of them happen to be relating to the topic that we're talking about, which is Jurassic Park.
You're a dinosaur maniac.
Shall I bring up your obsession with Cthulhu?
Don't bring Cthulhu into this.
Exactly.
You're making me want to play Call of Cthulhu.
Exactly. Anyway. Well, thank you again, Miss Zombie Alley Cat. We hope forward to seeing you again. And I also heard that you were also planning on seeing a new Aliens movie. Is that right?
Yeah, Alien Covenant. Don't hide that fact either. You're coming too. You try to exclude yourself out of these things, but listen to me, people. He's a part of that too. He asked if he wanted to come along with me and my mother to go see Aliens Covenant. I asked my mom and she was like, sure, that's fine.
Her mom paid for my ticket.
Yeah. So now he's coming along with us. So don't try to exclude yourself out of this. Stop pretending you're just some big star. You have a life too, god dang it.
Just get all the claws and Anthony.
Yes, what the background character said.
That's not helping.
It certainly is helping.
Okay, enough back talk out of you. Anyways, thank you all for enjoying, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you, Miss Zombie Alley Cat, for joining us today, and thank you for help answering those questions. Now I would also like to bring in my second guest, and he, well, hasn't made himself known yet until now. He's actually helping produce.
He's only been mentioned by name.
Yes, and he actually happens to be helping us right now, and he's also our producer right now.
And cameraman.
Could you please welcome Mr. Karl Woods up to the stand?
Thank you, Anthony.
He's a man of wealth and good deeds.
Exactly.
Jason, get on the camera.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's going.
Okay.
We're good.
Anyways, Carl, so I'm going to be doing the same thing I did with Samantha, just asking you the same questions about Jurassic Park. Because I understand, I've heard that you actually had an interest in Jurassic Park, am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, when the when the first one came out, I went and saw it like 5 or 6 times the first week it opened. I was so excited to see the movie. It was totally. It was awesome. I loved it. I still love it.
My childhood dream has finally been fulfilled. Anyways, before I go into more nerdgasm, I would like to do my first question, and my first question is, what do you think John Hammond's vision was when he first created Jurassic Park?
Good question. I think it was exactly as they kind of described in the first one. He wanted the Disneyland of theme. He wanted the Disneyland version of a dinosaur park. He wanted to have a animal park where that everybody loved and everybody wanted to go, which they would, to see dinosaurs, obviously. But he just wanted to be this thing that was very much a place that everyone felt like when they go to Disneyland, you know. I think that was, and he wanted to be the first to do it, kind of like Elon Musk, or not Elon Musk, but Elon Musk with the Teslas and stuff, and the Hyperloop, and SpaceX and stuff like that. These guys just want to be first, and there's nothing wrong with that, but John Hammond got ahead of himself, I think.
I actually do agree with you on that, because I feel like he was doing it, in your words, create like a theme park and create something that has never been seen, that can still capture somebody's eyes. Because if you think about it, these animals were once roaming the planet millions before we were even on this planet, and now that they're gone, it's just like, what we have left to remember them by other than their skeletons and just a few facts that we somewhat know from paleontologists that happen to somewhat stumble upon them or dig them up. And so I actually do agree with you on that. And my next question is, although I feel like you've already answered it before we even started this, how long have you been interested in Jurassic Park? And you already said that you've been interested since it first came out.
Yeah, I was in high school. I don't remember what grade, but in high school, I guess it would have been maybe my senior year or something. I was sick. And when I went to the pharmacy to pick up some medication, I was just looking at the book stand, and there was this book. It was a softback cover, and it had the design of the skeleton on it of the T-Rex. And being a big dinosaur fan, I thought, well, what's this about? So I read the back, and it's interesting. And so I was going to be homesick, so I got the book and just read it, and the book was so good that I read the whole entire thing in just a few days. And as I was feeling better, one of my friends came over, and he saw the book, and he's like, "Oh, they're making a movie of that." I had no idea. So when he said that, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" I was so excited, and I still had to wait like almost a year, I think, before it actually came out. After I read the book, but I was so excited, I couldn't believe it, because it was a great book. It was amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, note that Anthony's creeper face has just made his appearance on camera.
Cyber's really curious.
You're lucky I can't give you the bird right now, because we got younger viewers.
So yeah, I've been into it for a long time. When the next book came out, I read that one right away. I've seen all the movies and love it.
Okay then. Well, I actually didn't know that there was actually a book out that they actually made until just now when you just told me.
I would, if you like to read, Sam, I know does a lot of reading. The books are great. Even though sometimes the books are better than the movies, but I can separate these two very easily and enjoy them both equally. The movies, for what they are, they follow the storyline. They're just not as in-depth. The book, just way more detail, way more like intense stuff, and they're great. They really, Michael Crichton, the author, did an amazing job writing those books. His other books have turned into movies too, and all his books are very, very good, but I totally recommend, if you haven't read them yet, to definitely read them. They're awesome.
Okay, then I'll make sure to check that book out when I get home.
Yeah.
My next question is, this one's actually going to be asking for your opinion as well as I'll put my input on it. Do you agree that there is controversy that's surrounding Jurassic Park 3? And I'm pretty sure you already know about the controversy I'm talking about.
I know the controversy you're talking about, yes. Yeah. It's the scene of, they probably won't pick it up on camera, but it's the scene where, go ahead and pause for a sec. It's the scene where the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus meet.
Yes.
And the T-Rex actually gets beat by the Spinosaurus. And at that moment, what happens is that the T-Rex, known worldwide as the king of all dinosaurs, the king of all beasts, really, that actually
just got whooped,
that ever roamed the planet, yes, got beat by another dinosaur. And it's like, wait a minute, you can't do that to T-Rex. T-Rex is the best. And so that is your controversy, because you're a big Spinosaurus fan, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
My gamer tag involves a pet Spinosaurus.
A pet? A pet
You drew it for
Spinosaurus?
me. Don't judge me.
A pet Spinosaurus. I'm not sure how you could have a pet Spinosaurus. I'm not sure he'd be a very good pet. But you guys can.
I don't care. I will keep him.
You guys can discuss that on the pet episode.
Okay, then we already know about the why do you think people were so upset with it? It's like, the whole controversy in that one fight that people said was like the worst thing that ever happened in Jurassic Park.
They killed the T-Rex, and that's not. You can't do that. You can't dethrone the king of all dinosaurs like that.
Okay.
Although it was a great scene, I liked it, and I liked the movie.
Okay, I'm actually gonna help you out on this because I've actually did some research on that. The T-Rex that happened to be in that movie was in fact not fully grown. It was actually the infant T-Rex that was in the Lost World Jurassic Park. So that was actually the infant that was just grown up into a sub-adult T-Rex. It wasn't actually fully grown. But yeah, I kind of understand what people were saying, like, oh, it didn't win because it was a juvenile and it wasn't fully grown. But still, you gotta think of it as like a fan, and not just like some critic or paleontologist expert that like is gonna point out every little detail that's wrong with this thing.
So then, in that case, you could say, well, you can't dethrone T-Rex. Well, you could say, well, T-Rex would have won, but he was too young. Or, more importantly, if it was the baby from the Lost World, that baby was injured. His bone probably never healed right, so maybe his leg wasn't as strong. Maybe he would have won if he was fully grown and he never had that injury to his leg.
True, but again, we don't know.
We'll never know.
But I also have some more info on that, because a lot of people were even concerned, like, what's this new dinosaur? Like, where did it even come from? It turns out that some scientists when the island was still intact, they were actually planning on cloning a Baryonyx, which in fact is a close relative of Spinosaurus, but one of the scientists goofed up and actually made a Spinosaurus by mistake. So they pretty much had no other choice but try and contain it, but the animal was actually too dangerous, so they eventually left the island. And because they left the islands, a hurricane actually came and tore the place up and actually set the Spinosaurus free to roam the island as it is. But what they don't know is if that scientist that messed up actually made another one by mistake, or if there were more just like it on that island.
We'll never know.
Personally, I would be more than happy if there was more than one. I would be like crying.
Well,
Of course you
duh. There's Spinosaurus pile.
Yeah.
Utah Raptor.
For you.
All right, what you got?
Well, that brings you up to my next question. Although I'm pretty sure I already know what you're gonna say. What is your favorite dinosaur in all the movies? I've already said mine, being the Spinosaurus. Don't judge me, Sham. Shut up.
Sham.
Don't
So-
judge me, Sam. Shut up.
So,
Shut up.
just as a kid, T-Rex was always my favorite. Still is, but I never really paid much attention to raptors, as most people probably didn't.
Turn to the
prior to.
Spinosaurus side.
But the after Jurassic Park came out, one of the paleontologists, it's out of Montana or Utah or something like that, I'm totally blanking on his name. He consulted on the movies. He wrote a book called Raptor Red, which is the story of the life of a raptor. So it's from the raptor's perspective, a mother raptor, her life, and the offspring and what she goes through to survive in that world. And it's from the raptor's perspective. There's no people involved because it's 65 million years ago. It's really, really interesting because it got into talking about kind of how they would have lived, their nature, what the environment was like, the struggles that they would have had bringing up an offspring. You know, it really is almost like reading a book about a lioness raising a cub. You know, it would have been that same perspective. Really, really good book. I totally recommend it. But that opened my eyes to the world of the raptor, and I think that's a very dynamic creature. It's hard. They lived so long ago, and we theorize about everything. But I think that would probably be my second favorite, just because it intrigues me about them.
Okay then. Do you think Jurassic Park is one of Steven Spielberg's best movies?
Oh, that is one of the toughest questions, because Spielberg's done a lot of great movies that I love. I mean, he worked on Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Saving Private Ryan.
Seriously?
Yeah, a
Didn't
lot
know
of
that.
You forgot Jaws.
Jaws, which is holy
E.T.
cow, E.T., another classic. I mean, he's done so much, so many great movies. To say is Jurassic Park the greatest? Probably not. I'd say it'd probably tie with, you know, the Star Wars, the Indiana Jones, in that genre that he's done. Jaws was really good, but I don't kind of lump it in with that group, their style of movies.
That's a monster movie.
I think the most unique thing, the greatest thing that happened, that Spielberg was ultimately the final decision maker on with this movie, was when they started making this movie, they started out with animatronics or claymation or stop motion. They had done these big T-Rexes and were testing the footage of moving them, and that, you know, stop motion is the move it, take a shot, move it again, take a shot, still pictures that line up. And that was the old school way of doing it, and they brought in one of the old school guys that used to make a lot of shows like that, and that was the direction they were going to go with Jurassic Park. And then they said, hey, check out what we can do with computers. This was at the start of CGI. And Spielberg had to decide between the two. Am I going to go CGI, the computer version of this, or am I going to go the stop motion? He chose the CGI, and look where we are today. It was amazing. It blew. That's what made the movie great. Had they gone the other way, it probably wouldn't have done as well, I don't think.
Oh
But
my god.
the computer thing just was, the CGI stuff was what blew everybody out of the water and made those animals really come to life. So for that, I
Like
credit.
you actually felt like you were actually in the movie, and he was actually like right in front of you, like smack dab in your face, or like right across from you.
What he did to capture, because he does great things. Spielberg, all his movies are very much ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. But in order to make the circumstance extraordinary, you really have to create the environment. So like the tremors on the ground, the buildup of the events, you know, the first foot plant of the T-Rex, you know, all that stuff. I mean, he just did an amazing job that when the CGI pieces came in, you were just blown away. You know, you really just did not expect it, especially at the time that they came out, because no one had ever seen that before. They'd never seen special effects like that before. It was amazing. So I credit him. That's probably one of the greatest things he did for movie making in general, was that decision to go to CGI. He's kind of the first guy to really do that.
Dang.
And it was, you can see where we're at now with it. So.
Okay, then. My last question is, why do you think people are so interested in dinosaurs in general, other than just, you know, seeing them in a movie?
That's a good question, because we're fascinated with science fiction, we're fascinated with monsters, and we're fascinated with Bigfoot and, you know, all these weird things and stuff like that. We're fascinated by the unknown. However, the unique thing about dinosaurs is that we know 100% they lived on this earth. It's not a question. They lived on this earth. These horribly amazing creatures that are frightening and terrifying and reach into our psyche of, we think we are the most amazing thing to ever hit this planet. But I'll tell you what, every piece of technology and everything that we think we're cool, if a T-Rex or a dinosaur walked down the street right now, everything we thought cool about ourselves would fly out the window, and we'd know that our existence would now be in question.
We would take a picture of it and take a selfie with it.
Hashtag social media
as much as people do that in crazy events, I'll bet you the first 100 people that saw that thing saw whatever it was, dinosaur wise, couldn't wrap their head around it fast enough to get their phone out. It would happen in front of them, they would be stunned, it would be gone, and then they'd be like,
shoot, I didn't
get my phone!
Shoot, I would already have my phone in my hand. I don't care if it's in my pocket. My phone's already in my hand. I'm already in it.
Yeah. No, it reaches into something that we know is real, that really happened. We can't wrap our minds around the fact that it was real, it existed, and it's not here anymore. We just have to, like, you know, that's the one tangible thing. We can put our hands on the bones, we just can't see what it was. You know, it's not like we find a lion's bone down on the ground and we can go over to the animal park and see the lion. You can't. So I think that's why we're so interested, because we know it's real. Aliens, we don't know. Bigfoot, we don't know. Loch Ness Monster, we don't know.
Bigfoot, it's just some dude in a costume running around the forest.
Probably.
It puts a sucky concept for a monster. It's just a big ape.
It's just a big ape, yeah. So yeah, Jurassic Park's awesome.
Thank you. Also, I forgot to tell you this because I found out about it like a month ago and didn't tell you. The cast that they have brought up, one of them just happens to be Ian Malcolm, which was played by Jeff Goldblum from the original Jurassic Park, and he's now going to be in this new upcoming movie, Jurassic World 2.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's pretty cool. I liked Ian Malcolm's character in the first one. In the second one, it was a little questionable, but I like Jeff Goldblum. I think he did a great job with it. My concern would be in the second one, in Lost World, I wasn't a big fan of kind of how they made him kind of hero, but scared, and I don't know. It didn't really work for me, but I love Chris Pratt in the new one.
He's also in this one too.
And I like the storyline. I like what they did. It was a great movie. I think it did the entire series a lot of justice. I know number 3 kind of was like, meh. So I like where they're going with it. I like the idea of having him in there. I think it'd be cool.
Okay then. Well, are you actually ready for the new Jurassic World 2 to come out next year?
Yeah, I am. I'm very excited about it. I wish it would get here sooner.
I know. I can't. My fingers hurt just thinking about it. Look at my fingers. I think I got carpal tunnel now. Oh.
At age 22?
23.
24.
Whatever.
Oh God, the carpal tunnel hurts. Anyways, that's all for now, folks. Tune in next week where I talk about wrestling 101. Is John Cena the face of WWE, or is he nothing more than a Fruity Pebble wannabe? See ya. Well, thank you for both of my guests. I took the time to answer a few questions that I had. Now on to another one of my guests who is not. I'm not going to be talking about Jurassic Park. I'm going to be talking to him about gamings because I know for a fact he knows a lot about gamings. And he just happens to be someone who helps in the backstage area. So I would please like to welcome up Mr. Jason Fagundes. How you doing, Jason?
I am doing wonderful. What about you, sir?
I am doing good. Now I know you're probably not going to have as much interest as me or Karl in Jurassic Park, but I just wanted to ask you just a simple question. Have you ever played like a simple Jurassic Park game?
Well, okay, so I do have experience with the movies. I'll at least say that first. When I was a kid, I loved the first one. I thought it was great, and the sequels were okay too. But I wasn't really into it. It wasn't really my cup of tea. Any notable Jurassic Park games I've played, the 2 I can think of that are notable to me, the first one was Jurassic Park 2, The Chaos Continues on Super Nintendo. It's not an actual sequel to Jurassic Park. It was just this, unofficial sequel made by this company called Ocean who did PC games and stuff. What's notable to me about that game is the intro. Apparently the entire intro is completely voice acted, which is actually unheard of for a Super Nintendo game, which was released in the early 90s. So I thought that was absolutely great. And the game was an okay run and gun. It wasn't anything special. It was okay. Then the other one was Operation Genesis for PS2 and Xbox, which you can build your own Jurassic Park and create your own dinosaurs. It's noble to me because of that concept, and it's actually one of the most expensive games for both PS2 and Xbox since I do collect a lot of games. So that's my experience with Jurassic Park, I guess.
I now know what Sam is going to do on her channel next after this Minecraft.
God, no.
Yes, you are. Don't judge it. You're doing it. No questions. Anyways, off of Jurassic Park for a while. I heard that you have a new console that you want to talk about.
Yeah. So what I'm really interested in is the Xbox One Scorpio, and in terms of its new horsepower. So this isn't the first time that in the middle of a console lifespan there's been enhancements. I mean, Sega is very guilty with this with the Sega CD and 32X, but that's besides the point. So Microsoft is actually going to upgrade their power with the Xbox One, which is pretty nice, and it's rather remarkable. So just to give a quick background, the PS4 and the Xbox One, in terms of their horsepower, it's I think 8 gigabytes of DDR RAM for both, and it's 700 megahertz, which sounds great, but on paper it's really bad. It's a low level PC. And then with the Xbox One Scorpio, they're actually going to increase the RAM all the way to 12 gigabytes, and then it's going to be a lot faster too. So now it's going to be 1.1 gigahertz and whatnot, and it's going to have an 8-core processor, which is going to be great, and it's also going to be used by AMD. So what that basically means is that games that use a console that used to only run at 30 frames per second, that was really slow and can barely go up to 1080p, can now run games at 4K natively on 60 frames per second, which is actually super astounding for consoles these days, since nowadays they're low tiers compared to PCs. They're not as powerful as they used to be, and now they're kind of just frowned upon for the most part, since they're just poor man's machines. So now it looks like with the Xbox One Scorpio, this should be competent to the point where games that were only thought possible on PC can now finally be ported to the Xbox One with loads and no compromises. So I think this is a very big step for consoles. I'm really looking forward to the future of console gaming. I'm really liking how the Switch is doing right now. It's doing great. So many games have been performing extremely well. I'm very confident that the console is going to do rather well. It's been already selling over like 5 million units as we speak, and it's only been out for like a few months. So it's going to be doing really well. So I think the console landscape is going to be very interesting this year.
Nice. Now going back to what you were saying earlier, how the Xbox Scorpio, how you were saying how it's going to be running at 30 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes. You're saying that with this Scorpio, you're saying that it's supposed to make the system move a lot faster or smoother?
Exactly. It's going to be a way smoother. Like 60 frames looks a hell of a lot better than 30 frames. So it's going to be fantastic. So games are going to look a lot more smooth, and it should run a lot faster naturally. So I think it's going to be amazing nevertheless.
Let this be known. For those of you whose games are lagging, get this console. Your games will run smoothly now.
Oh, god damn.
It's not even out yet, man. Don't rush it.
I'm making that as a side note.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that people should know about the Scorpio other than how fast it runs and all these new gigabytes that they can get?
Nothing more. I mean, it's a cool necessity. I mean, it's not like people are really going to care about it, but I think it's nice to see the Scorpio being a lot more powerful than it should be. So for the near future, it's gonna be really nice for sure. For me picking it up, I'm kind of in the fence of doing it, but at the end of the day, I'd probably just still rather get a PC at the end of the day. So yeah, there's nothing else to really know. I mean, just have fun with your consoles. So there you go.
Now, are there any games that you are going to be interested playing on that will seem to strike your mind?
Not that I know of. Honestly, I don't really follow console like newer games these days. Yeah.
Okay then. Well, thank you, Mr. Fagundes, for letting us know about the new Nintendo Switch Scorpio. I will certainly be checking that out.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to subscribers before we go?
Shout out to One Red Rose. Shout out to the VCDI Alley Cat Squad community. We have a Discord that's been rather fun. Shout out to VCDI, and last but not least, shout out to the greatest thing ever made, and that is Jason Fagundes. Oh wait, that is Melee. Yes.
Thank you everyone for all that shown up and got the chance to explain either the games or the movies that we're talking about. Remember, as always, guys, if you are going out to the movies, please make sure do not ever go alone. Going out with family or friends is so much more entertaining, and you get to communicate with all sorts of different people. But like I said, thank you so much. Be sure to check out all of our other videos in the description down below. Also, make sure to check out Zombie Alley Cat's YouTube channel. Just because I'm doing this, just because she's not on camera, I'm promoting it for her. Don't judge me. So anyways, be sure to check out our channel along with her channel at the same time. And we hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.